And I want to bring Sandeep Unnithan into this conversation. My colleague Sandeep Unnithan, who's also been tracking developments on this story very closely. Sandeep, while we get the inside details to our viewers on India First at 8 p.m., let's give our viewers a little glimpse of why Pakistan sought ceasefire on the 10th of May morning. What transpired, Sandeep? The manner in which India hit Pakistan, not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5 times, 11 air bases almost simultaneously. Sandeep.
Gaurav, what happened on the 10th of May was not just an airstrike. You have to call it a rampage, because this is the Indian Air Force's most significant air activity since 1947. It is the largest number of airstrikes in the shortest span of time. In just 90 minutes, the Indian Air Force struck targets from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to the deserts of Cholistan in Sindh, hammering air bases, command posts, fighter air bases, infrastructure, all of this in the matter of just 90 minutes. This is like, these targets were spread over a geography of almost 2,000 kilometers. That's the entire length of Pakistan. And this is the precision which they struck these targets with. And Ankit was talking about the precision hits on the target. Gaurav, I can tell you, all of these targets, majority of them were actually Brahmos missiles. And these Brahmos missiles have a circular error probable of 1 meter. Can you imagine the precision, Gaurav? 1 meter, you're firing a missile that's flying at 3 times the speed of sound. It's a ramjet missile. It has the accuracy to go through a window 300 kilometers away. That is how accurate the Brahmos is. And that is precisely the reason India used the Brahmos to carry out these very carefully calibrated surgical airstrikes on Pakistan's infrastructure from the heights of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to the deserts of Sindh across. There was no place in Pakistan that was safe, Gaurav, and majority of these air bases, I can tell you now, Gaurav, had already been vacated of fighter aircraft. They had all moved to their depth air bases because they knew exactly what was coming. A smart Pakistani officer knows when he sees the first signs of a suppression of enemy air defenses raid, which happened on the morning of the 7th. When the radars were beginning to be knocked out, they knew what was coming. They knew the tornado that the Indian Air Force was going to unleash, which is why they activated their emergency protocols, which are kept for a full-scale shooting war. The Air Force withdrew.
Absolutely. You make that. And Ankit, I want to come to you for this big point. You know, the precision strikes that India carried out, Ankit, very clearly, this was a message to Pakistan. When you look at this message, and I want this video to play, where you will see this message to Pakistan, the precision strike here. This was one strike. If India wanted, there could have been multiple strikes taking out Rawalpindi's command and control structure completely.
This visuals is from the same airbase, Gaurav, and I want to preempt the supposed Pakistani defense experts on Twitter, because I know they will come, right? So the first question could be, how do you know this was Shahbaz Sharif's plane? Pakistan could have any other Gulf stream, right?
Their call sign?
Not just the call sign. You have 3. The J755 was at Lahore. Asim Muni's Gulfstream, which could have been there, we believe it is not that, because the top of the tail of Asim Muni's jet is painted in blue. This one is entirely white. We have done analysis, the entire length and width of this aircraft. It matches 100% with the description of the aircraft used by the Pakistan Prime Minister. And that is why we are saying, if India wanted to hit, India could have hit.
Very, very significant point. And do keep in mind, this was demonstration of capabilities. Pakistan should know what the capabilities of Indian armed forces are, from our intelligence agencies to our Air Force to our armed forces in general. We dominate the airspace. No restraint. Yes, the level of restraint was, yes, we will not strike to kill you. We will strike to show you. Next time, we can kill you. But Sandeep, before I go to that other big story, I want one quick question. We've demonstrated our capabilities. Pakistan will lie low. Any country knows when it's hit and it's hurt. So it will lie low for now. It may strike us, maybe after 6 months, maybe after 1 year, maybe after 2 years. It will strike. That's for sure. But by then, it would have effective countermeasures in place. It would have already got a better system of radars. By then, they will go to America on a bent knee, get better Lockheed radars instead of going for the Chinese honky, air defense system. They'll probably try and get some better air defense system. Next time, we've shown our capabilities, we've shown our cards, but we haven't destroyed them. Now, should we have destroyed them this time itself?
Well, Gaurav, the jury is out on that. Did you want to actually, destroy them completely, all their radars, all their air defense sites, destroy significant parts of their military? Well, the jury is out on that, whether we should have actually done that, But in this case, in this round of engagement, Gaurav, we have significantly caused damage to their air defense systems, their radars, their missiles. They were open, they were exposed, and phase 3, which ended on the 10th of May, was a very, very big signal, Gaurav. They had smashed one of their most important radar sites in Malirkant. This is a radar that was supplied by Lockheed Martin to the United States. The Pakistanis paid a lot of money for that. Good money was spent to buy those radars. And smashing that radar conveyed a very big signal to Pakistan that they were completely exposed on the southern flank, Gaurav. And that opened up the possible intervention of the INS Vikrant carrier battle group that was waiting out there in the North Arabian Sea for a possible phase 4. If Pakistan chose to retaliate to the 10th of May, the phase 4 would be unleashed from the North Arabian Sea. And that would have caused even more destruction. But I think, Gaurav, to answer your question again, I think the message had been conveyed adequately. There is no air defense or air defense radar in the world that can stop an incoming Brahmos cruise missile that moves at 3 times the speed of sound.
There's another message here, and this is just a war game. This is in no other way. We have every inch, and this was something which was told to me some years ago when there was a war game on. Every inch of Pakistan is mapped. The air bases that were struck and the air bases that are likely to be struck should Pakistan misbehave. Every time the armed forces used to say, will there be a leader who will give us permission to strike? Now this time, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave them the go-ahead strike, and strike they did. The manner in which they struck. This is stuff that history is written about. History is made, and trust me, this was history being made with 11 Pakistani air bases being targeted. That signal, that writing is on the wall, and it's also on the China wall. Because if India has this capability, this speed, this precision, this multiple targeting when it comes to one border, it can happen. Should there be a need? Should somebody continue to, do things that they shouldn't? Well, this is a game the two can play.